Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys select record-setting potential replacement for Rico Dowdle in latest mock draft. The Dallas Cowboys running game has been a far cry from the record-setting days of Emmitt Smith during the team's 3 Super Bowl wins in the early to mid-1990s. Former coach Mike McCarthy's team ran for 4 yards per carry during the 2024 season, ranking near the bottom of the NFL in that category, and are expected to be in the hunt for new pieces to make their running game one of the NFL's best in 2025 regardless of who coaches Jerry Jones' team. On Thursday, the Cowboys got a crystal ball for a record-setting college running back to potentially replace Rico Dowdle, who led Dallas in rushing with 1,079 yards on 4.6 yards per carry last season. The Cowboys were projected to select Boise State running back and Heisman finalist Ashton Jeanty with the 12th pick in Luke Easterling's latest 2025 NFL mock draft. This feels like a lazy pick at this point, but there's just no denying how much the Cowboys need to balance out their offense with a quality ground attack, Easterling wrote, calling Jeanty an elite prospect at the position. He's a top 10 overall talent in the draft, and could instantly transform Dallas' offensive identity with his 3-down skill set. Jeanty finished second all-time in Division I rushing yards for a single season, 27 behind Barry Sanders' record. The 5'9", 215-pound Jacksonville, Florida native racked up 2,601 yards and 29 touchdowns on the ground last season while adding 138 yards and 1 touchdown receiving for good measure. NFL Insider asserts it makes a lot of sense if Dallas Cowboys hire this person as head coach, and it's not Deion Sanders. Sanders has revitalized a Colorado Buffaloes program that only had 2 winning seasons since 2004 before he took over. His son, Shedeur Sanders, is one of the top quarterback prospects for the 2025 NFL Draft, while teammate Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy after emerging as one of college football's most dynamic two-way players. Colorado finished 9-4 and ranked 23rd in the nation in 2024. Over 2 seasons with the Buffaloes, Sanders has compiled a 13-12 record. While the buzz around Sanders is certainly warranted, one NFL insider believes another candidate makes more sense for the Cowboys' head coaching position. NFL Network national insider Ian Rappaport reports the Cowboys will be interviewing their former offensive coordinator and current Philadelphia Eagles OC, Kellen Moore, for head coach. Moore served as the Cowboys' offensive coordinator for 4 seasons, leading the league in total yards twice and points once. Kellen Moore should be at least in that conversation and probably more, Rappaport said. This is someone who is considered to be a top candidate for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not saying the top candidate, just certainly someone to watch and discuss and consider moving forward. Moore's history with Dallas extends beyond his role as offensive coordinator. He also served as the team's backup quarterback and has maintained a strong relationship with Dak Prescott. But it's not like they really need to interview him, Rappaport noted. They've seen him up close, they know how he works, they know what kind of coordinator he would be, they believe they know what kind of head coach he would be if he gets the opportunity. This certainly is one, and it makes a lot of sense for all parties on this one. The Cowboys didn't bring back Mike McCarthy following a mediocre 7-10 season as the team dealt with a number of injuries, including to Prescott. McCarthy spent 5 seasons as head coach of the Cowboys and compiled a 49-35 record, making the playoffs 3 times but unable to move beyond the divisional round. NFL insider, Kellen Moore considered a top target for Dallas Cowboys coaching job. Who would have ever thought that the quarterback Scott Linehan brought to the Dallas Cowboys from their time together with the Detroit Lions could one day run the show? To be clear, nothing is official yet, and nothing is even reportedly close to being official, but we are starting to see some serious smoke around the idea of Kellen Moore being named the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Thursday marked the third full day in which the Cowboys' job was posted on Indeed.com, Imagine, and it was a significant one as Dallas formally put in an official request to interview Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. Moore's history with the Cowboys is incredibly well known. A decade, basically, ago Linehan brought him in, he hung out at the bottom of the roster, he inherited the QB2 position in 2016 and after he broke his ankle in training camp in 2016 the first domino fell towards the Dak Prescott era. Another year and a half later Cooper Rush had beaten Moore out for the aforementioned QB2 job and thus began his career with a headset instead of a helmet, something that always felt like his destiny. Moore served as the Cowboys' quarterbacks coach for a single season before taking over as offensive coordinator for 4 more. The team moved on after 2022 and he spent 2023 with the Los Angeles Chargers before winding up in Philly. He has interviewed for head coaching opportunities many times before, including the one that went to his current boss, Nick Sirianni, but it appears that the one he has with Dallas this weekend could wind up being the one. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport spoke about Dallas placing an official request for Moore and noted that while Deion Sanders has generated a bulk of the headlines relative to the job, Moore should be considered at worst an equal favorite for the job. Maybe even more of one. First of all, we've spent a lot of time on this show, and there's been a couple of other shows that have mentioned this, the Deion Sanders component of Cowboys' coaching search. And that has obviously generated a lot of the headlines and a lot of the focus. Kellen Moore should be at least in that conversation, probably more. This is someone who is considered to be a top candidate for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not saying the top candidate. Just certainly someone to watch and discuss and consider moving forward. It's not just that they know him as okay, well he's been in the system there. He grew up in the franchise. He was a backup quarterback to Tony Romo and then got injured and then somebody named, what's his name, Dak Prescott. Yes. Dak Prescott took over and the rest is history. Dak knows him well. They have a great relationship. So yes, they are going to interview him. That is going to be, I believe actually within the next 48 hours. But it's not like they really need to interview him. They've seen him up close. They know how he works. They know what kind of coordinator he would be. They believe they know what kind of head coach he is going to be if he gets the opportunity. This certainly is one to keep an eye on, and it makes a lot of sense for all parties on this one. It seems notable that Rappaport felt the need to clarify that Moore was at worst on an equal level with Sanders as far as chances for the job. You can see that Moore should be even given probably more deference, which is really saying something. Perhaps the most interesting/worrisome thing is how Rappaport noted that the Cowboys don't even really need to interview Moore. The point is fair and understood in that Dallas obviously knows him, but this sounds like something you say when a decision is already made. He has commanded inferior offenses since leaving. Mike McCarthy commanded an amazing one in the first year that he was gone. Those are fair things to ask questions about for the front office. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Kellen Moore? Leave your opinion in the comments.